Alright, you Super Saiyans, let me talk to you about one of the newer weapons in Borderlands 4 that I'm getting around to trying out, playing around with, seeing if it's worth a damn. Let me tell you, this one is worth something, if not for the fact that it has a very unique playstyle and a way it behaves than its peers. We are talking about the Doeshot. Alright, now look, you see Jakobs shotgun, I see Jakobs shotgun, we both go ooga booga. That's awesome, right? However, its legendary perk Doer has this weapon firing its entire magazine on the pull of a trigger. Yes, this is a Jakobs shotgun that fires in a burst mode, which is pretty cool. And you also have the fact that just the projectiles from this weapon, they ricochet a lot more than just your average Jakobs shotgun, which is really cool and worth noting. You can definitely tell just by the way this weapon shoots, the projectiles that come out of its barrel. They're not typical bullets. They are much more so pretty, for a lack of a better term, right? And with it firing as a burst, that essentially opens up the door for us to get a really juicy shotgun, because as we know, one of the best additions to Borderlands 4 is the licensed part system. This gives us the ability to get any manufacturer's main perk on just about any weapon in the game, and this is a weapon that is going to be benefiting heavily from, say it with me, the licensed magazine. This is going to allow us to fire a Jakobs shotgun that looks like a double barrel to fire at least 20 rounds. And if you are on any ammo upkeep sustainability type of build, Harlow and Rafa, we're looking at you. It's going to absolutely fry, and it's not going to reload, and you're going to be able to dump out so many shots. It's a double barrel shotty. Traditionally, it's a burst, but you get what I'm saying. There's no other weapon. Imagine being the enemy. You see the Vault Hunter pull up with what looks like just a double barrel shotgun. Maybe it looks like a Hellwalker. And then it just starts firing its laser beam. And it's just not gonna stop. Put yourself in the enemy's perspective, right? Of course, this is a weapon that can be farmed from the Vortex side boss in the Demon's Domain. This boss is just flat out a valuable boss in terms of loot. Drops the roulette, it drops the Doeshot. This boss has some value to it, and it just so happens that the main two weapons of this boss that it drops, you really want to have the Ripper Mag. I'm telling you, that Ripper Mag, the more weapons that we get into this game, more legendaries, is going to prove more valuable. It just is. It's going to be one of the best aging licensed parts that you can roll. Bookmark it. And of course, because it is a Jakobs shotgun, it's already naturally going to have the ability to ricochet on crits. So the only RNG that you're fighting for here is really you're just needing to get the Ripper Mag, which is honestly a pretty chill ask in the grand scheme of things. This boss is pretty weak that it drops from. You can get runs in very, very fast as long as you have any decent build, and you will be good to go. I will say, just, you know, keep in mind that we are having our first main storyline DLC on Thursday for this game, and there might be a level cap. So just be a little FYI, if you do want to go farm for one of these right now, there might be a level cap, just a hunch. And based on history, generally at this point in Borderlands games life cycles, a level cap is going to be in play. Plus we're due for one. It just kind of makes sense. But regardless, this weapon is still going to be awesome and do some pretty dang good damage. Not necessarily the best bossing weapon. There's definitely weapons and other shotties that do a better job of bossing than the Doeshot, but for a shotgun to just hold the trigger and just let it rip with insane ricochets, clear out a room, this shotgun, it's really dang good. What's also really good, shout out to channel members. They go that extra mile every month to support the channel. Much love, much love. Pikachu, KJ, Perplexity, and the Homie General. Shout out to the channel members. If you want to get your name mentioned in videos, all you gotta do is become a tier 1 member of the channel. With that being said, glorious Globetrotters and yellow cake enthusiasts, let us go ahead and head over to the live action portion of the showcase. So I was recording footage for the video. Like, obviously for these types of videos, I do a voiceover for like the live portion of these showcases. And then I like to do a live recording where I'm talking about the weapon, using it while talking about it and whatnot. And I was doing that because I wanted to get footage of Vortex dropping the Doer, but yo, what is that? I call it the Doer. It's the Doeshot. It's the Doer shotgun. We have a PHOSPHENE, bro. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Phosphene Doeshot, dude. This is sick. This is sick. Dude, what? Dude. I love when this happens. This is like one of the earliest Phosphenes I think I've ever gotten, bro. And of course, it's for the Doeshot, which is today's video. I don't know where I'm going to throw this in, but what a freaking awesome moment to capture, bro. This is sick. Look at this. Look at this beaut. Beaut. It's a beaut. Oh my God. There's actually no way. All right, you guys, we got a bit of a special one here for you. So as I am getting myself back into the swing of things with the Borderlands 4, catching myself up with some of the new weapons that I've missed on their initial release, fellas, I am here today to talk to you about the Doeshot. And you'll notice that, yes, we did get a Phosphene to drop. As you guys saw in the clip, I was farming off screen for a Ripper roll, and in the same process and token, we landed a Phosphene. Bada bing, bada boom. So real quick, I want to just put on a normal one of these to give you guys a comparison and just a bit of a demonstration on how that's on how these weapons work. Okay, so normally this weapon, when you fire the trigger, it shoots 5. Right? It shoots all 5 at once. It's an interesting concept for a Jakobs shotgun being a full-on burst weapon. However, as we know by this point, to get around certain firing modes or ways of the weapon, we can simply roll one of these with a Ripper licensed magazine, as this allows you to fire any weapon that has it fully automatically. You hold down the trigger and then it's just gonna literally just let her rip. Shout out to Beyblade. The Doeshot is no exception to this rule, which means we have a full auto shotty. Now we've had plenty of these, but a Jakobs double barrel looking weapon, this is just freaking awesome, dude. Okay, like it's not like fighting to be better than the bod, but it's definitely no slouch in its own right. It is a very, very good representation of what Borderlands can truly be and what makes this series so awesome, because in no other game can I think of where I can fire a double barrel shotgun quite like this. Now, I know some people are gonna say, but bro, what about your favorite weapon, the Golden God? Yes, that is a Ripper manufactured weapon that fires like an assault rifle, even though it is a shotgun. However, just the raw damage per shot between the Doeshot and the Golden God, it's not even close. The Doeshot has it beat by a country mile, but obviously the Golden God fires faster. The point is, you're not supposed to be firing a Jakobs shotgun fully automatically this fast forever. And that is exactly what this weapon does. So I'm not saying it does something that no other weapons can do or any other shotguns can do, but it is a Jakobs weapon, and look at it go. With that being said, let's go have some fun with our Phosphene shiny Doeshot, shall we? So let's have some fun with this bad boy and let this bad boy rip, because dude, I'm telling you. Also, the reload on this weapon, total aura, bro. Total aura. Ooh, my aim, not so total aura. And then we get some ricochets, because it is a Jakobs weapon, mind you. Guaranteed crits, ricochets, go crazy, go hard. That guy's cooked. Now, I will say, this weapon is, I'm not going to put it quite in like a bossing category. It's not for that. Although we will give it a spin. Although we will give it a spin at a boss, just to give it a, you know, a little taste. But obviously, it's not going to be its main desired scenario. This is a Jakobs shotgun designed mainly for mobbing. We're firing at full auto. Bop, bop, bop. Yep. Mink, 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 mink. Mink, 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 mink. Mink, mink. Bink, 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 bink. I do love me some Jakobs shotguns. Whenever a new one gets released, I always get interested. Even if I'm a little late to the party, I'm telling you, bro, that does not feel right. I should not be allowed to do this. But because it's Borderlands, I'm 1,000,000% allowed to do this. I mean, like just a big cluster of them, bro. And they all just get fried. Dude, Borderlands, the home of so many different types of fun freaking weapons, dude. Let me tell you. With the series that has as many entries to the franchise, whether it's main games or spin-off games, the creative juices are always flowing in the weapons department. Well, I'll be honest, bro. I'm just in a really good mood. The fact that I got a phosphene one of these while trying to get footage of me getting it to, drop from its main drop source is so awesome. All right, so we're going to throw it into a bossing scenario. By the way, the ricochets on this weapon, they do ricochet like a lot more than like just a normal standard Jakobs weapon would. And it just kind of keeps firing. And I'm just, I mean, look, okay, like not the best bossing weapon. Fair enough. We have plenty of great bossing weapons. Fun premise for a weapon. Abso-freaking-lutely, this thing by design and doing this, like, you see all the tracers, bro. Like, it ricochets multiple times. Like, it's it ricochets a lot. Now, I'm going to head over to a spot that I haven't been to in a minute because I just haven't been here. But this, the bully spot with the three little mini bosses at the end, I feel like could go pretty hard because, weapon that excels mainly in ad clearing capabilities, ricochets, it's Jakobs weapon. You already know. Why not? Why not? Not to mention this little first area beforehand is also pretty nice. Look at the carnage. Look at the carnage. This thing is absolutely awesome with the Ripper mag, dude. I've said it a lot, and I'll continue to say it, bro, but like whoever thought of the feature of the accessory part systems where you can get like other manufacturers like main perk, like Jakobs being crits, Ripper's always firing with their weapons fully automatic, Tory explosions, stickies, yada yada, the whole 9 yards, you get what I'm saying, to just have that be able to be rolled on other weapons. Phenomenal idea. Like, phenomenal. Think of all of your favorite weapons in this game. How many of those are due to the fact that we have the accessory part system in this game? I would say it's probably 90 to 95% because so much of this game's best loot comes with having a Jakobs license accessory part on it for it to ricochet on crits. Just saying. I'm just saying. Goated idea. Shotgun. Goated. I wouldn't be able to fire this bad boy fully automatic without this system, or have my Whiskey Foxtrot that just literally prints bullets so fast. And I'm here to give it its proper due diligence and justice that it deserves. And when DLC 1 hits on Thursday, oh yeah, whatever. Oh, try to get they try to get me. They try to get me. You already know we're gonna be going over some of that goated loot incoming. Main storyline DLC loot. That loot hits. We all know that loot hits and it fries big time. Y'all remember the flipper? Y'all remember when the frickin' flipper came out, bro? Yeah. Yeah, I do, bro. Bounty of Blood, bro. I remember that. DLC 3, I remember that. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how beautiful the bullets on this weapon look? They look really nice. Bing, 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 bing. Like, bro, what? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about, OG. That's what I'm talking about. Who? It's you. It's you. Little grunt. Where'd he go? Little grunt. I don't know why I called them the bullies. They're the grunts, the little baby grunts. But no, I'm not here to say that it's it's making a case for one of the best weapons in the game. But for what it does, it's very, very good at. And honestly, it doesn't take too much RNG to get. You're really only just needing the Ripper mag on this bad boy because it's a Jakobs shotgun. It's going to have the Jakobs perk on it already because it's manufactured by Jakobs, which is heat. But I don't think that this weapon should be getting docked points because it's not going to be able to get you a platinum run of Bloom Reaper all by itself. I know we're over here in the Bloom, or I'm here in the Bloom just, yeah, I feel like, there's some decent little dense ad portions here. It kind of makes up for like a decent little just mobbing portion, so we're here to rock with it. Of course, there are other weapons that can 100% by themselves get you a platinum run of Bloom Reaper. Obviously, the Bod's one of them, Roulette, and the Shalashika pistol, just to name a few off the top of my head. This weapon doesn't quite have just like the raw damage stopping power for the boss damage, especially on max difficulty that is required to do that. But, you know, hey, it's chill. It's all Gucci because we have weapons to do that. When that takedown comes out, let me tell you, bro, we will be in there. We will be living in there for most of our showcases and runs, as those are just very nice with dense ad portions and bosses. That's what makes them so awesome. Y'all know just how much we was in that Malawan takedown. I probably have easily 1,000 runs in that Malawan takedown just for video purposes, because when I say it was perfect for showcasing stuff, it was perfect for showcasing just about anything. It was quick, very fast paced, great mixture of both mobbing fights and bosses, especially that Wotan fight. Let me tell you, bro, my boy, that's my boy right there. Me and my boy Wotan, we go back. That's my dog. You already know Wotan Smackdown of the Century. That's the origin story. Also, this thing, I'm telling you, whenever we have that takedown come out, we are going to run so many weapons through that takedown, whether it's on this channel or the Mo channel. I'm out of ammo. I really just be out here bullet hosing just to see what some of these weapons can truly do on their own. And I imagine for any mob tense fights, portions of said takedown, this thing will be an absolute ace up your sleeve. Why wouldn't it be? I will say this thing just feels like way more fun than the Rainbow Vomit, bro. Rainbow Vomit is cool in the fact that in a certain build, you can be shooting quite literally every element, but I feel like this is just more fun. My double barrel shotgun can shoot forever. Remember, if you do want to farm this weapon, this relatively new weapon, hasn't even been in the game for a full month yet, you're just gonna want to come over to the good old Vortex fight down here in the Demon's Domain. Yeah, this boss has some good loot. Between the Doeshot Shotty and the Roulette pistol, both in which you want a Ripper mag on. Yeah, this guy is definitely a very valuable boss in terms of loot and a boss to farm for an hour or so after work. Now, for our setup, I was running a Slugger. This is a Ripper base enhancement, and it's a really well rolled one. So anytime we have a good weapon with a Ripper mag on it, I do like to bust this bad boy out. Thing is absolutely disgusting. You do have 3 out of 3 to Deadeye and amp watts for dinner because, guys, stay with me, Green Tree Harlow does kind of go pretty darn crazy. That, and we were very, very blessed to get a PHOSPHENE to drop for us of the Doeshot. That being said, fellas, thank y'all so much for watching the video. Shout out to the channel members. Y'all have a great day. Do consider subscribing. Get ready for that DLC, and I'll see you beautiful faces in that next one. Adios.